right, guys. So look, I was in this trade, took a trade here, got out here, trade ran a little bit more. I haven't been recording my trade, so I am now. Okay, so I just basically will be recording these trades and doing live sessions with you guys. So you'll be able to follow me and you'll see what we're doing here. So anything now is going to be live moving forward here on out. So let's go to this right here. We're going to not show the trades on the chart now. We'll just watch them as they come. So we don't have to have those trades with the lines and everything. So that way you'll be right here watching me. So you'll know what I'm doing. All right, so we're getting ready to look at what's happening here. It's almost noontime and it's a Friday, so not the best day to be trading now after we had big news this morning. Where are we here? So we had the U.S. unemployment rate this morning at 8:30, and usually after that kind of news is on a Friday, the market pretty much ranges a little bit, don't get much of a move, but you could see we had that morning news, and then the market still did range a little higher. I mean, trended a little bit higher, so that's not bad. Let's see what we can get into right now, though. So we're looking for the market to pull back to this level right here. This is this fractal level. See if we could get a bounce off of there. We kind of knew that this was a resistance point right here and up to this point. So up to there. The market's in that area. We took our trade. Basically, you saw that we took the trade here, and then the market moved a little higher. Actually, sorry, I'm wrong. We took the trade here on this candle right here, and then the market pushed a little higher. We got out here. The market pushed even higher. I wanted to hold to this point. At that point, I already had $2,200. So I let it be as it was. All right, so we pulled back to this fractal. Let's see what we're looking like. If we're going to have an opportunity to get a trade here, this is the NASDAQ. And we probably won't be getting a trade here. Let's see. It's a good level. Market's trending pretty high. But it's right at that resistance point. Right at that level. So I really don't, I'd rather see the market push back to this level before I take a trade. Now we doubled up here on this candle. So a lot of bulls pushing in here. Let's set this. And we go to 5. So since we're at a resistance point, I went and trade 5 contracts, just trade 1, and we take the trade here. But I'm gonna wait. I want to get more of a pull into my level. If I take my trade here, I'm more outside of my zone that I want to be in, which means my stop loss is bigger, which means my risk is bigger. So I want to eliminate that risk. So taking that trade here is not where I want to be. I want to be actually at about 15, 133. So somewhere in here, right about here, in this area, which would actually bring me closer to my fractal level. So a lot of times it's just sitting and waiting. So, which if you're watching this, you'll probably see me cut the video, clip it all up, because I'm not going to sit here and talk for 8 hours throughout the day. Basically, when I'm trading, I like to be focused, and I really don't even like talking to anybody while I'm trading. See, we're going to see a little bit of downside here. Maybe a little correction, maybe a push back to our fractal level. So this is another fractal level I have, but it's basically sitting on this support and resistance level here that's coming off of this top. Now I want to see the market push lower than that. We actually want to see it push down into this area. Right there is where we want to be trading. That would be our best trade. Now if this level holds, there's a possibility we trade here. We need to see what's going on though. Watching the volume, looking at that volume. So you're not going to move higher on lower volume. Okay. And we got lower volume coming into this level right here. So that's also a sign. Yeah, we're about to maybe see some downside. Get that correction and push back up higher. Paying close attention to the volume here. And then we're also flat. All right, we failed to break this level. We failed to break this level. So we're in between these two levels. Not really worth taking the trade right now. $135. Yeah, see, we're starting to push lower. Now I want to see if we come down to this fractal, or if we just honor this level here, then we'll see where we are at that point. Looks like we're going to see some more downside here. Probably shorten down into this area. So really there's an imbalance that's on the chart that is right here. See if the market's going to cover that. If it does, it'll bring us into our fractal level. Looks like we're going to see some more downside. A little bit more downside. It's trying to hold though. If that candle holds, we may be going. We're holding support. If this candle can hold, we just broke this high. We got about 114 left, 112. Want to pay attention to that. Could have taken that trade right there with that volume that we just saw. Now we're pushing, getting a lot of volume coming in there. Still got 46 seconds. It's not real good. I'll tell you why here in a second. Let's see what happens. So we got 14.87, and we're about to close, maybe with a little more than 14. But the candle, look at what we should be for that candle size. We should have much more volume. Let me see what it closes up at. That might be good. We're gonna go with that. So there we are. So we only in one contract because just want to see, make sure we get through this level. We're between this area and this area still, and really want to get out of there. If we have pulled back into this area, we maybe go with more contracts. But since this isn't like my A+ trade right here, we're not going with more contracts. All right, so we need to get past this level also, or else we're not going anywhere. we'll be ranging for a while if we don't. And if we do get into a range, it could be all day. So you may see me getting done here today. So we basically are sitting between two levels. We can move this down a little bit. Let's make it this area here, because you got this low and you got where we came support here, and then we pushed up to this area. So this is where we're sitting between. If we can't break this level, then my trade isn't going to be much. And we're like 10 minutes after noon, which is, you think about if it's noon time, basically volume is a little bit reduced. So we're pushing a little bit. All right, looks like we're getting through this level. And then our target will be, I'll show you where our target is. Whoops. Our target is going to be so for a measured move 1-to-1, measured move, target's going to be right here. That's what we're shooting for. Let me move this off the table. Move that off the table. All right, now we're rejecting at this resistance point, but we got 28 seconds. So let's see what happens. We're shooting for this level right here. That's going to be the 1-to-1 measured move, and that's going to be the end of our trade if we get there. Now 12 seconds. We're going to have a nice rejection here. Maybe we don't get through. Let's see. I'll tell you if I still like my trade. Yeah, I'm staying with my trade. So we got a target that we're looking for. 1-to-1 measured move. So basically this is an N wave right here. And it's market structure, basically. Market moves in that kind of structure throughout. I could show you. Really just doing these N waves. So an N wave to the downside, then get another N wave back up, N wave back up, N wave back up, and that's where we are. We're in this N wave to the upside. When we hit that 1-to-1, we'll take our profit. Now, sometime I like to wait to see how the market reacts at that level. So if we hit that 1-to-1 and it doesn't reject that level and gives me a strong candle into that level, I'll hold it for a little bit. So we're in here with one contract. So if we would have did 5 contracts, we'd be pretty close to almost getting around 1,000. We're close to 190. We'd be close to 1,000 here, right? And that's what we played on our last trade that I did not record for you guys, that I just showed you at the beginning of this video. Once I started showing you, I got that trade. The first trade I just showed you that we took, that was a $2,200 trade. A lot of these people showing you like $30,000, $40,000 trades. I don't know what kind of risks they're putting up, what kind of capital they have, and so forth. But usually my trades are a couple thousand here and there. Never really up in the 10, 20,000 range. Mostly like the $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 range. So we're at 175. We want to get to this level. Is the market going to give it to us? So when we get there, guys, let's see how the market's reacting at that point. If it hits there and then rejects, then we're going to probably get out. So we're at 210, 235. This gives us a nice little profit here. And that's all you want to get with your trade. And I could have set a target for that level. And sometimes we barely just miss that level. But it looks like we may get it. So we can also, I'm going to show you something else that you can do. And we definitely don't want to keep our stop loss down there in case something happens. And next thing you know, market just pulls way back there and we're stuck with a big loss that we, instead of having some profit. So we're sitting at 210. We're rejecting a little bit, but we want to push to that level. If we hit that level, the candle that hits that level, we could move our stop loss up to the low of that candle. So we're pushing hard to that 1-to-1 level. This is that 1-to-1 level right there, 100% right there. It's going to be, what it is basically is a measured move from here to here is going to be the same size leg. And we're there, almost. We're there. Don't push on me. So we're going to take this. Are we going to take this yet? Let's see how it does. 280. Let's take that profit there. All right, so we took the profit at the 1-to-1. And what you could do, guys, is this. I'm going to show you what we could have done. Now you could see, you see where it hit now. Let's see what it's going to do. Is it going to get through that 1-to-1 or is it going to pull back? So this $300 trade basically, we could have traded that with 5 contracts. Been a lot more profit. Now what we could do also, so when I get to this level, I said we had a strong candle coming through. When we had this strong candle, we could have waited, but usually if we push back like this and get below this 1-to-1 measured move, then I usually take my profit. But we could watch for this candle to close, and if it closes above this level, then we just put our stop loss. We would have just bring our stop loss up to here. All right, but you lose a little bit here. So if it comes right back, so then what we would do is the next candle close, if it closes higher than this level, you just move your stop loss up to that level. So I'll play it out here. And this is what looks like it's what we should have done because we got 26 seconds to go. But this ends up being see, we had the most volume on the candle that we just got out on. Doesn't look like we're gonna have 22.52 on this candle, but we could have bring our stop loss up to this point like I'm showing you, and we had a little more profit to gain. Okay, so now this is where we would have bring our stop loss, and then the next candle, we'll watch this candle so I can show you exactly what you need to do. If it closes higher, so suppose it closes higher than it is right now, we just bring that stop loss up to this low. And now we're in a running trade. We're in a free trade. That's basically what we should have done here. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh, you never know, but I had it set for the 1-to-1. Let's see where this thing is going to go, because this is where we could have bring our stop loss. We'd probably get out of here with about $500 on this trade if we would have not taken our profit. But we already had this level set where we wanted to hit. We'd like to hit that 1-to-1 measured move. Again, I said I like to see how it plays at that level, but I quickly took my profit. And I'm not mad at that. All right, so let's see how this is going to do. And now all I'm doing is showing you how to really manage your trade. This is a big push here. So when you would have your stop loss here right now. But you see this happen and you would have got out the trade already. You'd have been out. You wouldn't wait for it to come all the way back here. You see this big rejection. You've already hit your one-to-one target. You're now running a free trade. You would have pushed up here. You should have been getting out already. Now, if you were brave enough to hold on to this because you pushed this high and you're saying that you're going to let this run. So you're going to wait. So where you would be now with your stop loss will be right here, right at your one-to-one level. So you'd be 100% free right here. I really wanted to see that trade push back into this fractal level here, also cover this imbalance. It didn't do that. What it did was hold this support level here. So we held that support and our one-to-one measured move came in and we just took our profit. So we took this leg and this leg. Now, some people may say that the measured move could have been measured from here. Let me move that for a second. We could have measured it from there, which would have bring us to this level as the one-to-one, but to me you were flat here and then the leg started. All right, so you had a move here. This was the leg and then it flattened out, so you already had a move here. So if we talk one-to-one measured move, that's how I trade the market, looking for the one-to-one measured move. You would have looked at this one and you would have said your one-to-one was right here where this market went to and then started to move down. You broke it, slightly broke it, and then started to move down. And then that's why this leg now becomes the one-to-one measured move leg. And you're here, and you're there, and you're here. So that's your one-to-one right there. That's your measured move. That's your N wave. That's part of your Ichimoku price observation theory as far as targets. Okay, so you could see what would happen. You would have been good on this candle here, and then you should have probably definitely got out here maybe, because it did come back to stop you here, it looks like. And this is the biggest. Look at how much volume we had here, and then look at what happened. This candle wasn't, the body of this candle was not as big as this body, and we didn't get we had 700 less, which means we're probably going to start to see that move to the downside. And here we go. And when I say downside, I don't mean like a trend down, a true blown trend. I maybe just a correction, maybe down to this fractal level now. So I basically bounced from fractal to fractal, look for the market to come back to this level. It didn't. Makes this fractal here, comes back to that fractal. Thought we'd come here. This was a strong fractal. This was a flat level fractal here, push back down here, market pushes higher. Look for it to come back to this fractal level now. So we could remove the one-to-one, and then we would be talking about the market coming back to this fractal level right here. And I'll make it into a zone. And then that's the way I trade. So and then the market would have came, stopped you. Basically, you would have got that profit, stopped, and then the market pushed higher again. So I'm about done trading for the day. It's almost 12:30, and got to go do some things. So just I should have opened up my charts earlier for you guys to see. Never really think about recording my trades a lot, or recording. And sometime when I'm live, that's when you'll see me posting videos where we're live trading. But today I'm just trading by myself, don't have anybody in here with me. Sometime I have other people on a webinar session and we're trading live. Today it's just me. So I'm just talking to you guys on YouTube, showing you my trade that I just took. And it's not a big monster trade like you're seeing some of these people make. But the thing is the process, where your trade is, how you trade. So yeah, it could be a bigger trade with more contracts. We were only using one contract on this trade. So therefore it was only a $300 trade. But we use more contracts, we turn that into $1,500 or more. All right, depending on how many contracts you trade. All right. So don't worry about the money that you make. Learn the process, understand what you're doing, and understand how to trade the market. All right. And that's what we just did. Showed you a basic, simple, easy trade. How we get into the trade, looking at support and resistance levels, basically trading off of these fractal levels and just looking off of the market to correct on these levels. Where we correct and find the market pushes into our zone, that's where we're going to take our trade. So we're never going to take a trade here like this. We want to see it come into our zone, and our zone is down here. We would have missed this trade. All right. So this wouldn't have been a trade for us. We definitely would have missed that trade. This was our zone here. Like if we're looking at our chart, another area where our zone was where we took our trade here. So this was another zone right here. This is another zone right here. Where's our next zone? Looking at my other charts. This was a zone, but the market was still, it was iffy for me. I couldn't tell if we were going to push higher or not, but we had a nice gap down. Then we pushed off of that level. This is where we covered that zone, that imbalance right here, and then pushed higher. All right, so you covered this imbalance. You could see this big imbalance right here. Right there. And what the market did was it dropped, made this imbalance. The market covered that imbalance, dropped, and then pushed higher. All right, so it covered that imbalance, and you pretty much know it's going to definitely, you see a gap. You probably going to see that gap get covered most of the time. All right, we're looking at another trade opportunity developing here. Price coming down to this fractal levels and pretty much holding. So we'll see if it continues to hold. We're near the end of the day on Friday. Could get crazy in a little bit. Volume goes crazy. Everybody exiting their trades. So we'll see what we get. Make this into a zone right here. Right in my zone. So we're going to let this run. Big rejection if it is that. But we still got a minute left on this candle. Let's see how it closes. Because we went all the way from almost 1,000 here to 280. Not good. I usually like to try to wait for my candle to close, but a pushback like that, good gracious. Big volume for the upside. Might have to take this loss here. $7.20. See what happens at this level. This level is strong right here. Need to see that thing close below that level. We rejected so hard off of that level. But we're pushing back down. So depending on how this candle closes, we know that we don't want to see the market pretty much going above this level right here. Closing above that level, then we're probably done with this trade. Now we're pushing back down again. So this goes down, correction, pushing back down, but we're staying inside this candle. So we want to close outside of that candle. This is the big 330 move maybe. It's about 320. So we're back down. Still in a little bit of profit now. We really want to see that thing close below this level. That'll be major. That's major. If it stays in between this level here, then we're caught in that little range. Yeah, it's so hard to trade a market when it does this on you. But you have to just go by your stop loss. Go by what you put in first and see if the trade develops from what you had thought the first hand side. So we're back in profit now. And this looks like maybe a good downside move. We'll see in the day. So we're going to try to walk this thing. And when I say walk it, we're just talking about how we profit, where we put our stop loss and so forth. So we already know we don't want to take anything more than this level. That's our biggest loss. But we're pushing down to the downside, so let's see what happens. End of day, expecting that pretty good run at the end of the day. Let's see if we get it. And if we're going the right direction. There we go. We know we don't want to be that high of a loss now. So we can move down to here. All right, there we go. Pushing down. We're over 1,000. We're about 1,000 right now. Let's see. Let's get ready to flatten this. 1,100, and we're good. We'll take the 1,100. We're still seeing a lot of downside still on this. But you can see that move back, a little bit of a rejection here. And the best way for me again is like to move my stop loss at the end of this candle close down to this level, but we're rejecting here. I looked here, a couple of things I was looking at. We came back into this zone, but this was a good level right here. And we also just missed hitting the bottom of this zone, so there could be a bounce on this level, and I didn't want to. You see what's happening here, so I didn't want to hold that. But this is our third trade today, so you see 1,100 on this trade, 300 on the previous trade, and then 2,200 on the trade prior to that. So we started out with 22, then we hit 300, and then we hit 1,000 on this one. Looks like we're probably bouncing off of this level. So good thing we took our profit. We'd be mad now saying to ourselves we should have taken that profit. But we might see a push back up and then a continuation back to the downside. But it's getting late in the day, so I didn't want to hold on to anything. You're not holding on to anything. We're pretty much scalping, trying to get that quick profit and then get out. And that's what we got here. Main thing I can tell you guys is basically these support and resistance levels. We're looking at these fractal levels mainly. We're looking to see the market come back to these levels. So we'll mark these levels. If we were looking at the market pushing up, coming back to this level, this looked like it was a breakthrough, but then it came back again. Then we got one here. So you got this level here. So the market at first broke through and came here, and now this is where we are now. Then you probably expect to see the market push higher now. So we kind of traded into this level. Then we want to see now what's going to happen. Look like the market is pushing off of this level. A lot of times these big candles here don't always represent what you see here, but what happened was you had a big candle like this that matched your volume. All right. Sometimes your volume and your candle don't match, meaning that your effort and result aren't the same. So you get big effort, but the results are different on the candle, showing you a smaller candle or what, so forth. And then you kind of know and expect what may be happening. I'm kind of glad I took my profit here, even if this pushes back down. I don't think I would have held it back on when it got up to this point, because you're talking about we went from 11 back down to whatever. We already did that in this trade here. We got in here and it pushed way down here, then pushed back up and then pushed back down again for us. But based off everything I'm looking at, I didn't mind holding this when I saw the pushback, and I knew I didn't want to go higher than this. All right, I knew I was over at that point. What I'm looking at now, I still see this market pushing even lower, but it's starting to get smaller in the time of the day. So we want to get out of this trade. We're out of it. We're done. So hopefully this helps you guys out. Till next time, have a great one. God bless. So long.